Hey, thanks a lot. Glad to be here, guys. I mean, this is a tremendous opportunity to get to chat with you about some of the issues at hand in workplace and beyond workplace. You know, cyber is every IT, CISO, CIO, CEO's nightmare. And we've had a few events in the probably the past year that are noteworthy, and there's probably a few events that we'll never know about.
Hey, Coop, before we jump right into it, could you tell us a little bit about these inventions you're working on and have worked on, and a little bit about your blog as well?
Yeah. So as far as inventions go, a lot of the work that I've done is with HP Labs around just a different experience in the future. I think a lot of us, it's really coming to fruition now with the COVID, but we've done a lot of work in the past on ideas around how do people be a person, but yet interact with their family, maybe interact with volunteer work, interact with their corporate work. And certainly if you're a consultant, it becomes multiple corporations that you're engaged with. And so a lot of work around these inventions were how to enable multiple experiences from a single device. And then some of the other patents that I've worked on is about how to do governance and classification of content, which is a really big issue, especially in the work from home world of, hey, all this corporate content is outside the corporate firewall. What do we do? And there's some really cool work that, Google and Microsoft Quest has done in the past. And then there's things that are really hard to classify. And being that HP has got a print company and an imaging company go with that, we've actually worked on some ideas on how to go beyond the standard set of content, textual types of content, and being able to identify and classify content based upon sensitivity. And then the final area that we've done some work on is in the area of collaboration, which once again, this past year, everyone was saying, hey, why couldn't we've had a product to do this? Is the whole notion of being able to collaborate across the analog digital divide. Specifically, the problem we were trying to solve a few years back was at HP, other large corporations, it was always painful to book a conference room more than 4 hours at a time. So how do you take all the analog post-it notes, whiteboard, flip charts, and be able to reset that up in another room? And so we worked on an idea to capture the analog, re-represent it in digital. And of course, that could be extended to conference room A to conference room B. And now with the work that's going on with either Microsoft, I would like to point out HP also with the OmniCep technology, but we're getting really good at immersive experiences. And so bringing all that together, how can you sit at home and actually have an experience as if you're in a conference room? Is an area that near and dear to my heart, as well as some ideas around security. We have filed some in the pending category of how to do protection of sensitive content whenever you're working from home. And so hopefully those will see a light of day in a product in the future.
And during the pandemic, and I mean after the pandemic in Canada, I think we're about 2 months behind the United States. We're still getting vaccinated. We're not going to rock concerts like in the States at the moment. I guess I got two questions for you. Like, you know, do you find that the changes that have occurred during the pandemic in the States, do you find them sticky in terms of like people working from home and a hybrid workforce going forward? And do you feel like, where do you see that, after everything we've learned the past few months or year now with the pandemic, how do you see the world shaping up and changing because of it, going forward?
Yeah, I think that there's a couple of industries that obviously do not lend themselves for working home. You can think about building a car. While I would love to have time to work on building maybe a classic car, probably I'm not going to be manufacturing cars in my garage anytime soon. So, workforce in manufacturing, any type of, you know, resort, hospitality industry, it's really hard to always have meals at home versus wanting to go out and maybe enjoy a different cuisine. And so it's really hard for the chef at my local favorite restaurant to cook it at home and get it to me. So we can take those off the table. I think we all would agree that those we really need the people to return to work. We need those businesses to be successful. I don't know about where you're at, but we had, I would say, probably nearly 30% of our local restaurants. And being in a college town, having lots of different cuisines, it's really, really devastating to go by one of my favorite restaurants and see, close, permanently, never to reopen again. So we lost some really good restaurants during the pandemic.